Hello. Welcome to the Saturday Soak. We usually do these on Sunday, but it's a lot more advantageous for us to get hammered on Saturday instead of Sunday, so we're doing it today.
Especially in the off-season.
Yeah,
right?
It is off-season. Well, it's kind of
still off-season, sort of off-season.
There's still free agents out there, that's for sure. But we are seeing games now. Saw a game yesterday. I actually watched it this morning. Watched Jake Berger hit a ball into the foul territory that may or may not have hit people mid-coitus. There was a blanket, so I'm not sure what they were doing. She may have been sleeping, but there was some movement.
I think it was 85 degrees out there. That's why everybody had blankets.
Yeah, they were having fun. All right, it was a good time.
I think mid-coitus was Robert Plant's side project.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was. That's what it was called. I don't know.
There's some great albums. Let's just say.
There's no question.
All right, so first thing we wanted to talk about, there's been a lot of talk about this, is Moose, Mike Moustakas. He is still a free agent, unless, since we've been in here drinking, he's signed and we just haven't seen it.
Yes, that's exactly right.
But there was some talk about him coming to the White Sox. That's an option that could happen, and I want to get everyone's thoughts on that idea of having him play third base for our Sox.
Oh man,
I'm gonna start you off.
Go with me. I'm kind of torn. I don't think we're gonna have a very good season this season. I don't think it's gonna be very good. I think Mike Moustakas is gonna want some money, and I don't think we necessarily need to give him some money to come play third base on a team that is gonna resemble a Yugo in the snow in 1970. Like I just don't. I don't see it. We don't have a fifth starting pitcher, for Christ's sake.
Right.
A solid fifth starting pitcher.
I mean, we don't really have a 2 through 4.
No, I mean, it's just, so why are we worried about locking up somebody for third base? We know who's going to be available next year, and we might be able to go after him, and we could save the money that we might spend this year and go into that next year. I'm laughing because
our sturdy camera
thing looks like it's going to fall right the fuck over.
I hope no one's getting motion sickness from the little movements of our camera.
It's kind of like being in a boat with us.
Yes. It brings a real feel to the hot tub.
I like the effect.
I apologize for breaking character. I also want to throw out there that we are drinking Baderbrau beer.
Yes.
We are just drinking out of growlers and then out of red cups instead of cans because we really care a lot about the environment.
They wouldn't let me drink straight out of the growler. They said I have to have one of these. I don't like it, but I guess
you're taking one for the team.
These guys don't want to be hygienic, so I guess we'll do that.
Just taking one for the team.
So, Beefloaf, your thoughts on Moustakas?
So the whole Moose thing, I really liked Mike Moustakas as a prospect. I thought he was gonna be this tremendous home run hitter, and then last year was the first year he actually was that sort of guy. But I sort of agree with my Sox. We're not there yet, which doesn't mean you couldn't sign a guy like this. You absolutely can. I just don't see it quite happening. But I see a lot of conjecture out there in the Twitterverse and in the Facebook. You could like Mike Moustakas or not like Mike Moustakas or similar free agents. But this is a marketplace, and at some price, he would be a good choice for the White Sox. I don't know if he gets down to that price. I assume he does not get down to that price. We'll see. But given his limited options, I mean, if they told you tomorrow you could have Mike Moustakas for $3 and $36, you sign it.
You'd take that.
You have to take it, right? So there's sort of these levels. Would I rather see Yomer Sanchez play third all year? Probably. I'd like to see him get the at-bats all year, but I mean, I'm not anti-Mike Moustakas. I just sort of doubt that it actually ends up happening.
So my thought on this is a little bit different. It's not so much that I want Mike Moustakas. I think he'd be a fine addition, and I know you said 3 for 36, but I think if you kept him at 3 for 49 and kept him underneath the $50 million, I think I'd be fine with us doing that. But what it really reminds me, just seeing this, is of two things that we haven't seen Rick Hahn do yet. One is surround a core of really good players with good free agent pickups, right? Because he's going to have to do it at some point.
Yes.
And he's never done it before. I mean, like, you look at what was on that Chris Sale team, the Adam LaRoches of the world, Drake LaRoches of the world, too. That was a
team leader.
That was a bad pickup, signing Drake so many years. And then he also, the thing that I haven't seen him really do that I need to see him do soon, and we'll need to see him do this year, is give up on people. He has to give up on some people, right? Like, and I'm looking at Matt Davidson.
I'm looking squarely at him as well. I agree.
I do see people going, hey, let's give Matt Davidson some at bats, right? Get him some at bats at third, and I don't want that to ever happen. Like I'm worried that when we have this really good team, that you're going to see Gordon Beckham-like players out there that we just haven't given up on yet.
The JB Shucks of the world,
right?
As the backup players, bad backup players.
We cannot have that, and so that's what I really need to see him do. And so if he would have said, "Okay, I'm cutting bait on Davidson, and we're going to sign Moose," I would have been good with that because I would have felt like, okay, he found a free agent that he likes, and then he got rid of the guy, and that's going to tip over. There's no way that this is going to hold. It is holding. It's holding. That's awesome.
Holy crap. If it stays and my phone is not destroyed, I'll be so happy.
I think your phone will be fine. I think just someone watching is going to vomit.
It's just catching a lot of wind is all it is.
All three of you people.
All right, so off of Moose and on to a totally separate topic is the White Sox first spring training game.
Yes, yesterday we were so pumped.
Yes, I was really excited to watch it, and I tried to watch some at work, and let me just tell you, my work Wi-Fi was not cooperating, but then I watched the game this morning. There's some good takeaways. I'll let B-Flow go first on what he saw.
Yeah, so I got a handful of things I noticed. Some positives. Adam Engel walked a couple times. Tim Anderson went deep for us, hit his pitch. Avi Garcia, stellar defense in right field. So that's about the gist of my positives. Our pitching staff. I mean, we were talking about it in the G chat. It was like fucking batting practice. Every inning was getting big hits. The bases were covered with Dodgers the entire goddamn game. I mean, there was absolutely nothing there. I mean, Yohan Moncada, rundown. Give me a fucking break. Get your shit together, son. All right, it's time. It's time. You're supposed to be the star of this team.
You're the guy. You're not the prospect.
Yeah, we can't have any of that action.
That was fucking terrible.
Oh, it was atrocious to see. The hitting in general was pretty awful for our Sox. We also got our first glimpse of Jake Berger.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jake Peter. Because I was excited to see him too.
Well, we won the trade because he grounded out in his first at bat. We got a chance to see Jake Berger. I mean, I'll let you guys jump in right here with me. He's got, I don't want to say he has a bad body because he has a bad body and everyone says that. He's got a weird body. It's a weird shaped body. I don't know how it ends up being a good baseball player.
I think it's a little strange that we're here shirtless, looking juicy.
These are terrific blogger bodies we got right here.
And we're going to talk about how someone else has a weird body. I don't get that, but that's fine. I don't care. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care if he has like a third arm or if his head's fat as fuck. I don't care.
It is.
Right. Like, it's a big head.
If he hits the ball and if he can stick at third base, that's all I care about. That's like, just do that and you could look however the fuck you want. I don't care. One thing I did notice yesterday was Yolmer Sanchez looks pretty good at third base. Not that I'm surprised by that, but that could be a really good left side of the infield with Yolmer and Tim Anderson over there, and that excites me a lot more than the prospect of getting a lot of home runs on third base, right? Like if Yolmer could hit like he hit last year, just have like a steady, good hitting season, not a lot of power. I'm fine with that if he plays the field like it looks like he's going to. I would love to have just a very strong infield. That would be awesome. That scoops up so many runs.
A lot of the anti-Moose stuff was that Yolmer had a better season than he had last year by WAR.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do believe that he can stick in the position. We'll see. I guess we're going to see.
Did you get a chance to watch?
No, I did not get to watch. I had to listen to DJ and Ed on the radio, and when I first tuned in, I just could hear DJ, or I just heard DJ, and I'm like, who was with DJ? And it was actually Ed Farmer. And he sounded a lot more spry and young. And I joked with Beefloaf that he is probably taking HGH and is coming back around.
At least Viagra.
He seemed very happy. It did not seem like the right guy.
He's probably doing the cryo chamber shit. That's supposed to be the thing, man. The cryo chamber.
I hadn't listened to those guys on the radio for that long a period, probably since 2010. So I don't know. I didn't fully recognize him right away. But hey, it was interesting. It was interesting to listen to. But I think we talked about it before. This team is going to get pegged by any team that's really good. The pitcher, if our pitching staff is not good. It's just not there yet, and 3/5 of it, 4/5 of it is not there yet. James Shields is not going to become anything more than what he is. So,
you're hurting feelings over
well,
here.
he's not going to get any worse.
Let's not say stuff we can't take back.
He's not trending upwards. Okay, much like our bodies, not trending upwards. We're 40.
Trending flatwards. That's our body.
Yeah. So I just think it's going to be a tired refrain this year of, oh look, the White Sox got smoked by 15, or hey, we got this guy that only pitched for 3 innings. Their starting pitcher only was out there for an inning and a half. It's going to happen, and so that's why we need a James Shields to come in and eat his 5 innings, even though that guy on Twitter was like, I don't think that's eating innings. No, that's eating innings.
In the modern baseball, that's eating innings.
If we can get 5 innings out of a kid or a guy, because he's not a kid.
36 is young. 36 is still young.
36 is the new 22, right?
He will pitch 200 innings this year. No worries. It's gonna be great.
I think he would have hit it last year. If he would have had a legit season last year, he would have done fine last year.
Arm angle.
The arm slot. It's gonna be. Just trust me. It's going to be fantastic.
One other thing I noticed we were talking about in the drive over here is with regard to Charlie Tilson. So he played yesterday. I hadn't seen him play anything since his leg was destroyed in Detroit back in 2016. That kid has got legs like a fucking running back. I didn't realize that. I thought he was a skinny little guy, and I thought it was all like twindly speed stuff. He looks powerful lower body. So I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe he'll stay healthy this year. I don't know.
Yeah, so I saw something the other day, and this might have just been guys goofing around or something, but I saw Nicky Delmonico taking some balls at first base. No,
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
What if
you'd like Nicky to retire his glove already, right? He's a bat only player.
He's a really nice guy.
What if a Nicky Delmonico was an okay first baseman, right? Like Jose Abreu level first baseman defense, right?
Okay.
With a good bat.
Yep.
Is that a nice platoon moving forward? If we extend Abreu and Nicky Delmonico there, and then you put an actual good left fielder out there, maybe like a Charlie Tilson?
You mean like a defensive platoon? Because you'd have Abreu's bat in the lineup all the time.
Yeah, they platoon between DH and first base.
Yeah, no, I actually think that they're gonna try to give Nicky Delmonico reps at first, especially if they end up quitting on Matt Davidson, because he's the other guy who has handled first.
Yeah, but
poorly, yeah, for sure. But you need someone to at least pick up the glove.
It's true. There's really not another guy. We don't have a Dunn anymore.
Yeah, I was big on picking up.
Tyler Saladino is the guy who in the pinch would take first.
Right. I was all for picking up like a Lucas Duda or a Logan Morrison, like guys that are out there. But if they're going to try Delmonico, I'm up for that experiment.
Sure.
If that means keeping another outfielder on the roster and cutting Matt Davidson.
We definitely need another outfielder.
I mean, assuming Adam Engel could hit even a little bit, a Lurie Garcia on left, an Adam Engel in center, and then an Avi in right is a very good outfield defense.
Oh, you might as well grab me one while you're
I figured. That's why I got up. I got out of the
We got to read
depths.
beer. Sorry, everybody. Thanks so much.
We went to a fruit tsunami.
And
That's right.
Going to erase everyone's memory.
And
We'll be doing cartwheels on E-Flow's deck momentarily after we drink through this pitcher. Uh-oh.
Oh! Get it. It's not. It's scrambling. It would have been great if it would have just flown up with the train and gone away. All right, so let's change.
I wouldn't even care. This fruit tsunami tastes so good.
Let's change topics here. I want to get into something. There are a bunch of free agents, as we talked about earlier. I guess we'll start with Moustakas, since we talked about him already. Where are these guys going to land? So first up, Mike Moustakas. We'll go around the horn. Beefloaf.
I don't have a great feel for where he's going to land. I don't see a contender that really needs him. I mean, maybe the Cleveland Indians shock the world and sign him to play third, because they're sort of going to be using like Yandy Diaz, or they'll slide Jose Ramirez back over there if Jason Kipnis is healthy, and put Kipnis at second, although I think they don't want Kipnis in the infield anymore.
They told him the other day, Francona told him that he would be expect to play second base.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I know
Jose
they've been.
Ramirez is expected to play third.
As I know they've been using him in left field. They wanted to use him in the outfield. They tried to use him in center, wasn't good.
It's because Michael Brantley is made of porcelain.
Yeah,
so they're not so sure he's going to play.
They're limited there. I mean, you got to look at a contender. Otherwise, I mean, like the Royals could sign him back, but the Royals are probably the biggest piece of garbage in Major League Baseball. They might be the worst team in baseball, even worse than the Marlins. So I don't have a good feel for it. I think it's very possible that he doesnthink sign until after the June 4th draft, because I think there's something to do with that pick. Yeah, that gets nullified. So I think it could be a situation like we had
saw
back
that
in
with Country Morales.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you who he's not going to sign with is the Cubs. Because the
You
Cubs.
don't think they displaced Bryant?
No, listen, the Cubs. Let's just go with me here.
Okay.
If Chris Bryant gets hurt, they have a guy in the wings that can play any position because he's lost so much weight. It is on the best diet known to man, and that's skinny Schwarber. Okay.
The picture of him.
I mean, my guy.
Looks photoshopped. It
Listen.
doesn't even look like it's him.
Hold on.
That picture is like, you guys probably don't remember this, but maybe you do remember this. So maybe I should admit this. But they used to have a dating app thing associated with hotornot.com.
Okay.
Do you remember Hot or Not?
I do.
You would take a
remember
picture
Hot or
and you
Not,
put it up there and you get highs and lows, right?
No, I think I was meeting people in person back
Yeah,
then.
well,
I
because
think
you
that
didn't
was,
live in.
that was the beginning of the internet. No, Hot or Not was not a dating site to begin with.
It wasn't a dating
It was
site.
just a voting
You could start
site.
talking
Oh.
to people through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was just
So,
like
if
vote. You vote if they're hot or not.
I think if you pay like $3 or something, you could message people on Hot or Not.
You guys knew that there was porn also on the internet, right?
Oh, yeah.
We could have watched that instead.
Look, hey, I wasn't doing any of that shit. I was married already, man. I've
Yeah.
been married a long goddamn time. Right?
Very long time. So anyway, these are the pictures that you would put up on the Hot or Not. Like the one picture that this like incredibly huge girl would put up, and she was like, God, she looks really skinny. Because I would go out and meet some of these people that I would met at when I first moved to California. I would meet some people and I'd be like, you look absolutely nothing like your picture. And like after about the third time that happened, I didn't do that anymore. I stopped doing that.
So what your vision of this is Chris Bryant
And
goes
I'm only
down.
saying this because my wife will never watch this. So it doesn't really
Chris
matter.
Bryant goes down with an injury. Joe Madden looks at a picture of Kyle Schwarber and goes, I need this at third base.
No.
Puts him out at
Give
third
him a
base.
glove.
And then we watch the game and it's just a huge lump out there just with balls bouncing off of him.
What I'm saying is the picture that they used him like for that comparison on the left and the right. The left was the fattest picture of Kyle Schwarber that's
Ever.
available.
Yes.
And the one on the right is the skinniest looking picture of him ever. That is not a fair comparison. Did the guy lose 70 pounds? Because it looks like he lost.
That's what it
70
looks
pounds.
like. He looks
did not
so
lose
much
70 pounds. He
trimmer.
probably lost like 30 pounds, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to lose 30 pounds. But I just like, so anyway, Mike Moustakas is not going to the Cubs.
He's so not Cubs.
Teresi, here's a tip for you, my Sox summer. If you ever get back into the hot or not world, not saying you will.
I don't think it existed anymore.
Yeah, but if you had to. Teresi and I used to run a little internet business, and we knew some other associates. And one of the dudes told me the way to figure out if you're going to get tarped on the picture is if the picture's real close to the face. That's how you know.
I thought it was more like,
It's close to the face. It's cutting out a little bit. It's shading it out. So that's what he told me. I don't know for proof. He's just telling me.
This
as
is
a
all
fellow
good.
fanboy posting on the internet, I know how to take pictures to make myself look skinny. Okay.
This is all good free agent information. And I hope you're enjoying it.
Listen, I'm sorry I threw the shit off the
No,
rails.
no, no.
Okay, I really am. But I had something to say and I wanted to say.
This
Hey.
is a baseball and bullshit blog.
We're on Growler 2. Shit's gonna go off the rails.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Oh wait,
fucked it
so
up.
I have.
what are your thoughts?
My Moose
Where
prediction-
is Moose going?
I'm going to tell you where Moose is going to go. And
Canada.
once I tell you
Edmonton.
where Moose is going to go, you won't even remember that he played for the Royals.
Okay.
Just like you don't remember that Mark Trumbo played for anyone else. When Moustakas goes to the Orioles,
Oh, yes.
you will look at it and go like, did he always play for the Orioles? He just seems like the most Orioles guy there is.
He
He's
does.
like, he
That's
can
a good
almost
call.
field. And then, yeah, he's supposed to hit. He'll hit like 40 home runs, but that's it. That is an
On
Orioles
base
guy.
percentage about 300. That's the specialty right there. He's a decent defender.
And they have right now, because they're moving Machado to shortstop.
That's right.
They have Tim Beckham at third.
Former #1 pick.
And like you could easily see Beckham moving over to short or second when Machado and Scope go bye-bye, which
right.
they're definitely going to.
Yeah, they're
those
both
two
gone.
dudes just decided the day before their fan fest that they weren't going to show up. So I don't think they're in it for the long haul.
They did an Instagram photo too about no talk of extension.
Yeah.
Those two and Adam Jones, the three of them did it together. So.
Yeah, so plan on getting your Moustakas Orioles jersey if you're a huge Moustakas fan. If you're an Orioles fan, you probably don't want to get either of those.
No.
But all right, on to the next guy. We go back to the north side because we have to. Jake Arrieta.
Yes.
Where does Jake Arrieta land? My suck summer, you go first.
Oh.
I want you to also tell me that it's not the Cubs.
Where is he right now? What is he
He's
doing?
a free agent.
Is he just hanging out at home?
He's doing Pilates.
Pilates
Doing Pilates, yeah.
HGH and Pilates.
Like
his
that's what I've always wondered. Like, where did
Growing
these
a
guys
beard?
go while they're waiting to like get signed somewhere? He didn't show up to camp, obviously. Like he's not going to show up with it. Why would you not show up?
What do you mean? Where are they at? Like you act like
where were they
there's-
going?
You like if you took a picture of him right now, he's at Old Country Buffet, just like munching his potatoes. What do you mean? Where
No,
is he at?
not that. He's like probably downstairs in his really nice house,
Oh.
watching free porn on YouTube or
Shoot-
whatever.
shooting some pool, maybe.
I feel
Yeah.
like he's filming one of those Roger Clemens commercials where he's like punching down into the big thing of rice. But what you didn't know was that there was HGH at the bottom of that he was just pulling out to take. So that's,
The sad thing is there's a team that needs him, and it's the Cubs. The Cubs probably should take him back because he's never going to replicate his success at any other venue. So
It's
he's
true.
probably going to end up in like San Diego. San Diego seems to be signing people. They seem to be trying to rebuild some stuff. You know where else he could go? I'm just going to throw this out there. Colorado Rockies.
that's true.
That is-
Right?
That's a
that-
good
he
He
one.
could end up there.
landing spot.
And this is my
He'd only give up 60 to 70 home runs out there.
right.
But you're right. I mean,
Somewhat
they're
wild
flush
card.
with young pitching. They have John Gray, who's their de facto ace, but pairing him with Arrieta would be very nice for a young, quality team.
And if you're going to go against the guys in the NL West, I mean, shit, you need a guy like that.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Yeah. Beef.
I just made that up. by the
I've
way.
long
totally just pulled it right.
I know. I see a lot.
Totally.
I see a lot
Made
on the
sense.
Twitters. People wanting them to go to Milwaukee. I
Yeah.
don't see that. I think
Yeah.
they've shot their wad. The Minnesota Twins are the team that need to be in play for Arrieta. They don't have an ace. They have Jose Barrios, who I really like. They've got some young pitching bubbling up from behind. But I mean, they traded for Jake Odorizzi. Who cares? They need a real guy. I mean, that's who it is. There's no other contenders in the division besides Cleveland, so it's a two-horse race. Why wouldn't you spend some money here and give yourself a shot to win a division?
So the next guy we're going to talk about, I am going to say goes to the Twins.
Okay.
Arrieta, I just feel like this feels like a Boris Rizzo match made in heaven late in the game. Nationals just feel right. That just feels like they're going to come out of nowhere and they're going to say like, hey, like Tanner Roark, you're in the pen again. Like,
Right.
and we have this dominant pitching staff. And I think part of the reason is that the Mets have a fucking awesome pitching staff.
Yes. I suppose they stay healthy.
Right. Well, I mean, suppose the Nationals stay healthy too.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Steven Strasburg isn't like the healthiest dude I've ever heard
No,
of.
he's not.
So I think that's a possible good landing spot. And they will spend, so that's not even a problem. The next guy I want to talk about is Lance Lynn, and I think Lance Lynn has twin written all over him. That rhymed. That was fucking odd. That was like fucking Dr. Seuss.
You're a poet. You didn't even know it.
I was like a drunk Mexican Dr. Seuss. Doc Seuss. Like I'm doing coke with Doc Goodman.
Doc Seuss is the Spanish Dr. Seuss. That's we read that when we were kids. We read Doc Seuss.
While you're getting your haircut at the
slot
you're
ramp,
reading
yeah,
some
that's
Doc
right.
Seuss.
They read Doc Seuss to us while we were getting
Doc
our
Seuss had
haircut.
some sweet shoes.
It was the cat in the hat.
Zapatos, motherfucker.
The cat in the hat in jail for beating someone with a baseball bat. So I think he looks like a twin to me. I feel like that's the kind of like solid, kind of middle of the rotation guy that they're gonna actually spend on. They think Barrios is that number one, so I don't think, and they think
Possible he is.
I think they also think that Odorizzi is number two, which I think is a big mistake. And I think they're going to try and insert Lynn at 3 and try and compete with the Indians, and I think it's going to go terribly wrong. But that's where I do think he'll end.
Dude, I don't even know who you're fucking talking about.
Not Jeff Lynn from the Traveling Wilburys. Lance Lynn from the Cardinals.
The guy that played for the Knicks and the Hornets? Or Houston? That guy, right? The little Asian guy?
Every once in a while, all I think about is every once in a while, Mad Max will text me and say, "Hey, whatever happened to Grandmama?" Ask me about Larry Johnson. Been retired 20 years.
I can tell you all about Grandmama. I can't tell you about one fucking thing about the guy you were talking about. So listen, if we haven't picked this up yet, you guys are the numbers guys and the guys that pay attention to everything outside of the city of Chicago. I get lucky and say Colorado Rockies.
So can we put you down for Lance Lynn unsigned?
Unsigned. Not laughing. Don't know who the fuck
not
he is.
Not an actual baseball player. You heard it here first. We've been catfished by Lance Lynn. He doesn't even exist.
Listen,
he's not real.
I'm not here to contribute that shit. That's not what I do.
All right,
you guys get back.
Give me a Lance Lynn.
I'm going to give you an outside the box Lance Lynn here. Okay, the market's coming down for everybody, right? What type of teams capitalize on that shit when they got free money just hanging out there? Who is a team, a type of organization? Who do I trust more than my wife that will come in here and swoop and do this? The Oakland A's. The Oakland A's are going to come in and get Lance Lynn.
You guys did talk about
the A's are better. No, I just think
this wasn't a G-Chat conversation.
No,
that was Jeff Lynn.
I put in my article about the team wins over that I would take the A's because the A's are better than they look. And I could totally see them going out there and signing this way below market deal, even if it's only a 2-year because Lance Lynn will want to get back out in the market or something. I could totally see a team like that swooping in. I would say the Rays, but they're cutting absolutely every bit of payroll. So I think the Oakland A's are that type of team.
Okay, I'm not even going to ask you about this one. I'm going to stick with you, B.
Let's go. Yeah.
Where does Alex Cobb go?
I have no idea who that is.
Alex Cobb. So Alex Cobb is sort of asking for a lot of money. I think he ends up on a 1-year deal. I think it's going to be with some sort of contender who still has their powder dry. So, like, it's not going to be any of the teams in the NL West. It's not going to be any of the teams in the NL Central. The East teams, even though you think the Nats, those teams are flush sort of with pitching. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe, truth be told, he could be a good landing spot for the Twins as well. The Twins need to sign a pitcher like that. I mean, the other teams that are content, like I don't see them going to Houston. They're all set up already. I mean, the teams that are really in wild card and divisional contention, they're pretty set up, except for the Twins with the rented pitcher.
All right, I give you this. I say Alex Cobb ends up signing and gets a bunch of money. Not insane money, but he gets more money than most teams would give him. He signs with the Philadelphia Phillies. I think the job of the GM of the Phillies this year is fuck the Braves. That's all that they're in charge of. They have to outpace the Braves rebuild for the next few years. And signing Alex Cobb does that, right? That gets you to that level where you're like, we can't quite contend yet, but you know what? Fuck the Braves. And I think that's where they're gonna go. And
Gabe Kapler, my guy, the Tony Little regime has started.
I'm a little worried.
I'm sold out.
I'm a little worried about that guy in Jeff. Like, I think he's the next Pete Rose of management. But that said,
that's a strong call right there. It's a big take.
I think that the phone is about to go.
We're leaning?
It's good. It's good. I can feel it.
It's fine. It feels good.
It feels good. It felt good.
I'm Jedi minding this shit back into focus. So I think that's where he goes. Next up, I would say Jonathan Lucroy. Where does Jonathan Lucroy go?
Jesus Christ. I know who Jonathan Lucroy is.
I mean, Jonathan Lucroy rolled off of the Rockies. The team that could use a catcher, I mean, like, truthfully use a hitting catcher. They don't want to use their young prospect for this yet. I mean, they tried to trade for him before, but he negged the trade. It's the Cleveland Indians. I mean, truth be told, he would split, or maybe he'd play a little bit more. Maybe they'd slide him over to first to DH occasionally. But that's the team that could use him for sure.
Man, that would be a real. That would be a real.
He negged the trade because he wanted to forced them to secure his option, and then he ended up going to the Rangers instead. This was 2 years ago.
That would be a real Kenny Williams to AJ Przinsky call right there, where he's like, "Hey, you remember how you didn't want to play for our team? No one wants you now. Why don't you just bite the bullet and come play for
us?"
I think the Arizona Diamondbacks are a good spot for him. They got some bad catchers there. Yeah, is it Chris Herman and Jeff Mathis? Jeff Mathis is still alive. I remember when we were talking about how the Sox should trade for Jeff Mathis.
They have Alex
15
Avila
years ago.
too.
Oh, Alex Avila. That's who they brought.
He won't stay healthy.
Yeah, I don't.
There's no way he stays healthy.
He had a nice year last year, and I don't think that shit's going to happen ever again.
No, I might take Mark Salas over Alex. I'm just saying, he's got more years tenure in the MLB.
As a catcher or in a taco eating competition?
Hey,
or both?
I'm saying both.
All right, both. All right, I'm boring my Sox summer to tears with my free agent, so we will move on. And we've got some questions.
Yes.
And I can't read what the fuck.
I will read the question. So. I will read the questions. We got some rollover questions.
I didn't know we do that now. I missed last week.
My Sox summer and I got snowed out a bit, and the phone died. So we lost the last two questions. So we'll go with the one we were in the middle of answering first, which is Shy Sox Anthony. Can the White Sox realistically get Seth Beer in the second or third round now in this coming draft when everyone was given the, Tank for Beer hashtags last year? What do you think, Treasy?
I don't think he will last till the second round. I think someone is going to go Jake Berger on him and take him earlier than people thought. Yeah. I don't want him.
You're not big on him.
I don't care if we get him in the second or the third round. He never makes the major leagues. I'm just going to say it. The guy is not a major league player. Sorry. Cool name, dude.
I see Phil Plantier. I do think second or third round is where he ends up. These hitter-only guys that are stuck with first base, they have to hit a lot to be in the first round. He's not going to be in the first round. I can see the White Sox taking a shot at him. My Sox Summer, what do you think about the marketing opportunities with the Seth Beer? We're going to bring him over. The beer and burger type thing.
I haven't liked it since day one. But I'll take Burger over to Beer. I don't know. I think that we have all these guys that are good in the field. It might be nice to have a hitting only guy also. Maybe just try to see what happens. Can we develop a guy to field better, or do we just throw him in a DH situation? I mean, I know you don't want young kids out there DHing always, but
if they can hit, fuck it. Why not?
I mean, we're gonna have a lot of young DHs this year, so who knows? I don't know. But yes. Can we take him in the third round? He'll be gone by then. But should the Sox maybe roll the dice and try to take him? Maybe. We'll see.
Next question.
Really good non-answer.
Next question that we didn't get to last time. It was going to be the last question of the show, and we got to it, but you guys didn't see it. It's from our guy Steve, the druthers guy. I'm a druthers. He wanted his druthers, then he got his druthers. Now he's moved off that topic. He wants to know if the 108ers would ever consider drinking 108 beers before, during, and after a game to celebrate the 108. My Sox Summer, what do you think?
I'm sure it has been done, I'm sure it has happened. We've just never kept track of it. And I don't. And
we need an abacus, is what we need.
And if it's an Imperial fucking Pilsner from Baderbrau, I am not involved in that shit. Because that shit makes you lose your mind and lower your inhibitions and have a really good time.
Whoa,
I'm just saying.
After we turn the cameras off, we don't even want to talk about that. Let's just say that.
We got fancy hair today.
I agree.
I do. I got a special design going on here, so everyone don't get all jealous.
Yeah, I agree. We've definitely done it. Like,
we've done it.
Opening days, we have to have done that.
I'm drinking a case on opening day.
I mean, we start at 10 a.m. on opening day usually, and then I go home when my wife tells me, "Hey, you need to fucking go home," which I don't know what time that is, but it's after at least a case of beer. So if we're knocking out 48 right here, the rest of the crew could get 60 down.
The thing is, the 108 beers is 21.8 beers per person. I'm not with the 5. If we only count the 5, I'm not sure we've ever done that. I mean, there might have been some days where it's close or some things or whatever. I think if we did actually try to do this, and let's say this was gonna be an event, we'd pull in some of our friends. So we'd make sure we got Wally Money in on this, and then we make sure we get some of these other guys. Zach and Kier and their crew, and then Sleepy Harold and
those guys are
Whoa,
doing
whoa,
30
but
bags.
if we do Zach and Kier, we got to drink hams the whole day, right?
Well, not the whole day,
Oh,
but at least
man.
130 pack has got to be in there, right?
I mean, like
It's a hams day?
At least 120 of the 108 have to be hams.
We need a porta potty to follow us around. I was going to say.
It's a hams cleanse. It's a hams cleanse.
It is an adult diaper day. All right.
All right, next question from our guy, Big Pookie.
Big Pookie.
Big Pookie, awesome dude on Twitter. He asked, does Tyler Saladino have a role with the 2018 White Sox? Treasy, go first.
He has a role with the Sox, but it's in Charlotte. So I think I love Tyler, and I think Tyler has a good skill set for a winning team. And the thing is, I think you're going to want to get a lot of people at bats that we haven't got at bats before. We've seen a lot of Tyler already. I think he's the guy that you hang out in the minors, and when someone gets hurt, he comes up because he can play every single position, right? So you don't use a roster spot on him, but you do get him as many at bats down there to get his hit tool right, because after he got hurt, it just wasn't that good. So
we toast on this one.
Yeah, I got one. I got one sitting.
Okay.
And so I think that's where he is. He ends up in Charlotte.
I don't agree with that.
I agree actually with Treasy on this one. I think he ends up in Charlotte, and the reason why I think that is because the White Sox are going out of their way to say Lurie Garcia is a utility player, and they even used him at shortstop yesterday. So I think what they're trying to do is use those guys. They're trying to make Tyler a pure backup.
Yeah.
And you potentially will see him back this year, but I agree. I think he ends up at Charlotte.
I think he's a utility guy that you have around. He definitely was okay on the clubhouse all last year, right? Let's keep him around. He's doing something.
And he had a good 2016.
I will give you that.
I mean,
I
just think
good
he's
for the clubhouse.
He's been around. He's a nice guy, and not you polish that. This is a lawnmower, I think. This lawnmower. I think he's just nice to have around. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard. I have a little soft spot for Tyler, which I think we all do.
But he doesn't have a mustache anymore, so he goes to Charlotte. That's right.
When he gets that mustache back, then you bring your ass back to Chicago.
He needs a little time to grow that mustache out.
Mr. Garcia got to talk to him at spring training yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Flying his fucking
Our guy
away
Scott
colors.
Garcia was out there. He was
Scott.
doing things, big things, man.
He saw James Shields, too.
He did take a picture of James Shields.
That arm looked good. I don't know if you saw it. James Shields' arm looks fantastic.
We do all have a soft spot for Tyler, and actually, I mean, Tyler, I agree with.
Tyler's one of the first
I agree with you guys.
players to reach out to the 108
That's
and work
correct.
with the 108. And so we do love him. And, the Charlotte thing, it's not a knock on him.
No.
It's right now. It's a numbers game, and whoever has
It's more of
options and that sort of thing.
It's more of a thing of, like, we have that many valuable middle infielders. So I think that that's a reasonable thing that he would be put to Charlotte, wait for someone to get hurt, whoever it is. And that's the thing. Whoever gets hurt, that would be the guy that
Correct, because you have the two potential utility guys in Yolmer and Lurie Garcia.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler go down to Charlotte and play outfield. And then he's super utility, and he just could play outfield.
Yeah.
Or maybe let him catch. I don't know.
He's the emergency catcher.
What's Jacob Magan do though if we put Tyler down? I mean, really, Jacob Magan.
It's not our
That's what he's
concern.
going to do.
Oh, he kills it down there.
Yeah, he's like
Kills it there,
He's
get
like
him up.
Dallas McPherson. I love it.
All right, next question. One of our best friends in the whole wide world, out of the White Sox folks, Mr. Pete Hand. Aloha, Mr. Hand.
Aloha,
His
Mr.
question: what's a reasonable amount of consumption for the 108ers in beer in 2018 in games?
Well, we don't reasonably consume anything, so let's change the wording of that question.
What's
How
the
many
consumption
beers
will be?
are these fuckers going to pound? I think
Yes.
this is the right wording for that.
So
I'll give you the. Oh, go ahead.
I would like to start because
Got some
I'm
math.
I'm the math geek here, and so I ran a spreadsheet. To find out how, and it looks like
You ran a spreadsheet.
I ran a spreadsheet to figure this out, and
What was that?
I tallied sort of. Well, it didn't take me that long. Because I know what we do. So I estimated a conservative estimate, 25,000 not gallons, 25,000 ounces of beer, which is about 1,700 beers.
Okay.
Because we teeter-totter between the 16s and 12s, depending if we're drinking here
Right.
or somewhere, or if we're drinking in the ballpark with the 16 ounces. So I think 25,000 is conservative for the 5. So that's us 3 and then Biggins and Slumpbuster. I only counted them in for 20 games. Does that sound
Right.
reasonable? And then us for 50 total? That's a little under, and I added a little bit on top. So we probably could hit the over of 25,000 ounces for you.
See, so I thought this meant just in the park. So
No, I did everything.
I was
did the
trying
whole
to
thing.
figure out just for in the park, and I was at about 1,000 beers in the park,
That's not unreasonable. That's right. Yeah, it's not unreasonable.
which is $10,000.
Right.
Just
I mean,
in
that's
case,
just,
in case
we
you're
don't even want
keeping
to think
score.
about that.
Yeah.
Which is
We don't want to think about
Which
that.
is why they won't drink out of the same growler as me, because I have to do some things to make enough money to be able to afford that much booze.
So,
But
we
that's
should-
neither here nor there.
Should we be getting credentials because we're paying $10,000 a year in beer
Yeah.
at G-rate?
I think
we
we
should
should-
probably
like-
get Sox Fest credentials just based upon that.
I think we should be like vendors or something. I don't know.
You drink too much of the product, though.
But yeah, I'm with you. I'm like,
Should we get something?
I think we should get something.
We should get an award of some sort.
Yes.
We should be honored.
It
Maybe we
seems
should get
ridiculous,
a 108
but it's-
statue.
it's
What about a 108
100%
statue in the
true.
concourse?
Well, you know what though? Who?
They don't have enough coffee.
Let me throw this question out. If they said, guys, you drink it up really well.
Yep.
We want to do a statue for you guys in right behind the 108.
Yeah.
But it's got to be of a player. Who are you doing? Who's your player that you're gonna
Man.
do? Because I got an idea. I'll
I
let
have
you
an
guys
idea,
go.
too.
Sweaty Freddy.
Ooh, I like that.
Put
I like
Sweaty
that.
Freddy up there.
I was going to say Jack McDowell.
So I know this guy already has a statue, but I would
You
have.
can't do a statue
I
of
would,
a guy.
Second statue.
second statue. This one's different. I'm got Carlton Fisk in the middle of cornfield statue. No.
You know what we should
How about
have
a
said?
Kittle?
White
That's
Sammy
what we
Sosa.
should have said.
White Sammy Sosa is our statue.
Yeah. We
all
need,
know that.
We need a Ron Kittle.
A Ron
Ron
Kittle
Kittle sitting out there with a Stella because he hasn't woken up to Baderbrau yet.
Oh, yeah, it's
and just
unfortunate,
like
man. We gotta
holding
get
up
him
his
out.
Stella, drinking beers with the fans. And it actually could be it could
bat in
actually
one
be
hand,
Ron
Stella in
Kittle
one-
some
the other.
days,
Yes.
just out there drinking with
Harley
fans.
Pooch at the foot.
Harley Pooch.
I'm down.
All
That's
right.
our statue.
I don't know. Did you see that?
I
video
I
of
know.
Harley Pooch?
I know Brooks Boyer watches this, so
Absolutely.
get on that.
Yeah, right.
Get on that. We'll see
The
that.
Paul grads?
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
real recognize real, right?
bro.
Did Brooks? Cheers.
I did graduate too.
Yeah, correct. That's correct.
Barely.
Early too.
Barely. Yes, it was.
Yeah, well,
You were smart.
suspension, whatever. Last question. So this is the last call. Last
Before I
question.
went to prison.
All right. Our guy Sleepy Harold, his buddy Uncle Ricky, he wanted to know where will the 108ers eat pizza now that Lena's is closed.
Ooh, that is a hot question.
All I know is my daughter was almost in tears finding out that Lena's was closed.
Why did
It's
they
so
close?
goddamn good. I don't know.
Was it
That's a
good
rumor. I
stuff?
don't even know if I believe it. I feel like I go there and it'll be open. I don't know.
It's a family biz. They maybe
is.
maybe they had enough.
That place was like sweaty when you walked in.
Oh yeah.
It was hot.
No, there's no question.
Because we went there once based upon your guys' advice, and they have a sweet sauce.
They
do
do
have
have a
sweet
sweet
sauce.
sauce.
They have a
Sweet
sweet
sauce
sauce,
and the
They
cheese
make
is
it
thick.
upstairs.
which is good. I mean, I was not overly impressed, but I was not utterly impressed. It was just like right in the middle. It was good. It wasn't like, oh shit, I should have went to Little Caesars.
So I'll say mine.
My Sox, fuck you. It's the best pepperoni pizza that there is in
It is.
Bridgeport, for
It
sure.
is. I'll say mine
We
because
didn't get pepperoni this year.
Okay.
I don't live in Bridgeport anymore, so I need to get places
R.I.P.
that
and peace,
deliver
your
outside
Bridgeport
of
delivery.
Bridgeport. Phil's does not deliver to me.
No, Phil's is like
sad.
I like
Sad shit. But Connie's and Punky's do deliver to me, so those are my joints. And now that Nina's gone, I think the Punky's biz is gonna get ramped up.
There's no question.
I am a Phil's guy. I like Phil's. But a lot of the times we make our own pizzas at the house stay my stock summer because I like to make pizza. So it's been going really well with the pizza making. But if I'm buying out, I'm definitely getting the Phil's. I like the Phil's.
Okay, two things. Are you low carbon? Is that a
No,
cauliflower
absolutely
crust?
not.
Okay, I'm
No,
just checking.
absolutely
Okay.
not.
And number
No.
two, how dare you go Phil's when every time you leave here on a Friday night when you are blitzed out of your
All right,
mind,
let's-
you're on straight to Freddy's.
Oh,
you get a
no,
whole pizza.
That's different. I was going to
Let's-
talk about that. That is a different thing.
Let's-
That's a
let's-
different thing.
Whoa, let's
But-
back
but
this
stop
up.
it.
Because
Stop it
if
right
I'm-
now.
If I'm going for just a slice, I'm going for just a slice and a bag of fries.
Bag.
Big bag of fries. What
Bag
size
of
you want?
fries.
I want a bag.
A bag.
Of fries.
Bag.
Not
I'm
a
going
large.
fries. I'm going
Not a
fries.
liter.
That's right.
I want a fucking bag.
There's no
Good- that
small,
was a
there's
good
no
one.
large. Is a bag.
Good night with Wally Money.
So, I will say that my Freddy's visits slowed down last year
Okay.
a little bit. I have been trying to do a plant-based, no meat type diet, so that also pizza consumption just went way the fuck down. But I will say, when me and the wife had our Fridays that we would have a pizza, 9 out of 10 times it was Freddy's. Because they were easy to get to. You could just go in and
Cheap,
get
they
it.
always got
And it was like
special.
$10 for a large.
Yeah.
Versus Phil's. But I thought we were in the, hey, if we're ordering pizza, like your good order pizza, that goes to Phil's.
Yeah, no,
That's a special. That's it. Hey, people are in town. Let's get some pizza that they're probably gonna like. I'm not sending them to Freddy's unless it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sending them for 2 o'clock in the morning. We're going with Phil's.
People, if you look like a guy who eats pizza, tell us.
I do. So I would go with Punky's. I'm in agreement with you. Actually, Punky's is probably my
Punky's pretty
favorite
good, too.
already. I like their old neighborhood pizza, which has they do the peppers in the oven first, and then they put them on the pizza, so
Good
they're
stuff.
really well done and it's done properly. When you're talking about slices, though, my favorite slice in the neighborhood is not Freddy's. My favorite slice in the neighborhood, and people don't even think of this place for pizza. They think about breaded steak sandwiches and beefs and everything. Is Riccobenni's.
Really?
Riccobenni's has terrific slice of pizza.
They do have good slices, but you have to walk past the beefs.
You do. The beefs and the breaded steak line is first. So if you
Right.
can get beyond that temptation, then you could get to the delicious slice of pizza.
Their
Terrific
beef sandwich
pizza.
has whole cloves of garlic in it. So I could never make it over to the pizza line.
That's
I
right.
never get down there. But you're right. They do have some good
It's
pizza.
terrific.
I've never had it.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to try.
Get that and a pitcher of beer and just sit there and gain weight.
I think that's all we got today, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Now one of us is going to have to get out of here and go turn that.
That's my
kid
sock
on.
summer. He's far
Oh,
left.
you're
He's the man.
close. How the heck does that happen?
Yeah, you got the beer too.
I do have the beer. I got the beer, and now you need to turn off.
These Mexicans are
What
really
else do we
turning
have?
the tables
What
on
else
you.
we have?
Do we have anything coming up?
We
We do. We got a couple things coming up. We got the NWI meetup, which is
Oh,
March
yeah.
10th, which is a little bit on the hush hush.
That's a secret
It's
location.
a secret meetup.
in Northwest Indiana.
If you're an NWI person, slide into our DMs, and then we'll get back to you on that. We're not blasting that out to everybody.
And then we've got the next day. We're going to. I don't know why we chose this date, but we're going to go.
Because I'm smart. That's
we're
why
going to
we
go
chose
get Blotto in Northwest
Oh.
Indiana, and the next day we are going to record a podcast with the Second City Sports guy. So
That's
we'll
right.
be
The,
on
the
their
artist
show.
formerly known as Poco Radio.
I don't know who
Right.
Second City Sports is. I don't know who that is. I
So we-
fail to recognize this new designation.
So we'll be on Spoko Radio or Second City Sports Radio, whatever you choose to call it. And then after that, we are working on a 2018 prediction
show. Yes.
which will be the Friday of the NCAA tournament, the beginning
that
Friday.
is March
so
16th. We're still
So,
finalizing all that
If you
stuff.
want to get real fucking drunk and be hungover for St. Patrick's Day and not leave the house, like I'm going to do,
Yes.
this is your key. This is what you do. Come out to Baderbrau is where it's going to be. We're going to get hammered. We're going to make bold predictions, bolder than James Shields winning the Cy Young.
That's right. We're all over some shit.
And then we are going to not do anything for St. Patrick's Day because St. Patrick's Day is fucking amateur time. All right, guys.
All
Good
right.
seeing ya. We'll
Love
be
you.
talking to you
Deuces.
soon.
Love your beer too.
Uh-oh. Why is this not? How's it end?
Out, bro.
You just X out? Boom.